This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Aquath listening and learning, in sincerity and in truth and in silence. Shalom. It's your brother Shimon from the Pillars of Benjamin Camp here in Toronto with another lesson. And we'll get right into it. Right, the doom of Babylon. Right? And at some point, disgruntled people will forget people, the populace, Americans, they're gonna get fed up out here. BPR, Business and Politics. Today, September 16, 2022, the year of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai turning up. U.S. to send another $600 million 1 week after $2.9 billion to Ukraine, along with massive arms package. Right. So these elites, these ruling class elites, are going to continue to forward this thing at the detriment of their people. The Biden regime has announced plans to send another $600 million to the country of Ukraine to aid in its counteroffensive against Russia. This just 1 week after sending $2.9 billion for the same reason. The White House has said this is the 21st time an aid package of money and or supplies has been pledged to the Ukrainian war effort. Right? Meanwhile, people out here, Americans, right? They're about to go through it. Chevron CEO warns Americans to brace for higher natural gas prices this winter. Right? The CEO of Chevron, the chairman and CEO of energy company Chevron, has warned Americans to brace for price increases in natural gas this winter. Right? So he's sending out the warning. He warned consumers that there is certainly a risk that costs will go up when it comes to natural gas. Of course it's going to go up, man. As long as this pot keeps being stirred. Right? Right now, people in Europe are worried about how they're going to heat their homes. Dow drops 300 points as traders fret over FedEx warning. Wall Street heads for big weekly loss. Right, so FedEx made an announcement that they're in dire straits, and the Dow Jones dropped 300 points. We're facing a severe economic slowdown globally, said Edward Jones's Mona Mahajan. Right, severe economic slowdown. Let's get a scripture. Haggai. And you think it's going to get easier? It's going to get worse. Haggai 1 verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Right? Sown much, likened unto working. Plant much. Ye work a lot. Ye have sown much. Sown mean plant, likened unto working. 9 to 5, 12-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts. Ye have sown much work, much planting, and bring in little. Right? You're bringing in what you're reaping is little. Your paycheck is little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye eat, Salakia, but ye have not enough to eat. You're eating, but you're borderline starving. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink, right? But not enough to drink. You're just getting by. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages are put into a bag with holes, right? As your money comes in, it's gone, man. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways, right? As your money comes in, it's gone. Right? FedEx CEO says he expects the economy to enter a worldwide recession, right? And this is the CEO of FedEx. And this is what caused the Dow Jones to drop 300 points based on based on what the FedEx CEO said. FedEx CEO Raj Subramaniam told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday that he believes a recession is impending for the global economy. The CEO's pessimism came after FedEx missed estimates on revenue and earnings in its first quarter. The company also withdrew its full year guidance. Right? So they fell short on their estimates for revenue earnings in the first quarter. Right? FedEx is in trouble, man. Right? So now the CEO is saying he believes, he expects a worldwide recession. Right? And this is just the start, man. Right? And scenes like these are coming to America. 5 bank heists in a day as Lebanese seek back frozen savings. Right? So 5 banks were hit in Lebanon in one day. 5 Lebanese banks were stormed Friday by depositors, right? Law-abiding citizens, right? And this is coming to America the Great, Babylon the Great. You think it's a joke? You think, let's read this. 5 Lebanese banks were stormed Friday by depositors seeking to unlock frozen savings, the latest in a string of heists in the crisis-hit country that have garnered wide public support. Let's get a scripture, right? So so-called law-abiding citizens stormed a bank trying to get their money, stormed a bank seeking out their money that they can't access, man. Second Ezra 5. Second Ezra 5 verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet. Salt water's false doctrine, right? You know, I'm King David, shit like that. Salt waters, false doctrine, shall be found in the sweet, in the true doctrine. So you have motherfuckers out here saying they're this and they're that, and teaching lies. You have motherfuckers out here not warning about the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, not warning the people, telling you it's an embargo, right? And it's Christianity. Second Ezra 5 verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Right? Friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, right? Wit. No. Wit is departing itself from this world, man. Ultimately, this is going to lead into the Amos 8 verse 11, the famine of the word. Right? And then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber, right? There's going to be no wit out here, no understanding. For law-abiding citizens to run up, right? To run up in a bank, trying to get their money out. That's wit and understanding withdrawing itself. Verse 10, and shall be sought of many. What shall be sought of many? What's going on? Understanding, wit, and yet not be found. Right? It's not going to be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Right? Unrighteousness, we see that. You know, the love of many waxing cold, nothing but more and more wickedness multiplying itself out here. Incontinency, that's shamelessness. Let's get it. I can't remember. Shamelessness. Incontinency. Unable to hold your bowels, along those lines. Defecation, along those lines. Incontinency, it's with a Y. That's in Old English. Incontinency. unchastity, see, incontinent, wanting right, no restraint, wanting self-restraint, immoderate, intemperate, not holding back, not opposite, originally chiefly of sexual appetites, general sense, unable to retain, unable to control bowels or bladder, unable to restrain natural discharges from the body, right? Unable to hold back, man, right? This is coming to America the Great, Babylon the Great, right? Right? This place, let's get another scripture, right? Inflation gonna continue to grow, right? The keepers of the house are going to continue to tremble. These financial forecasters, these stock market watchers, right? And the situation going to continue to get more and more grim, right? People going to have a hard time eating out here. Revelation 6, Revelation 6, Revelation 6, is it verse 5? Revelation 6, verse 5. And it reads, and when he had opened the third seal is a famine, right? And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. The black horse is bad times, right? And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. The balance is symbolic of judgment, right? So the third seal being famine, the black horse is bad times, evil times, right? The pair of balances is judgment. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of wheat for a penny, right? You look into this word measure, a measure of wheat. Koinix. A koinix, a dry measure containing 4 coduli or 2 ceterae, less than 1 quart or 1 liter, right? So less than 1 quart or 1 liter, or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for 1 day, right? So less than 1 quart or less than 1 liter of wheat, right? A measure of wheat for a penny. The penny was a day's wage in those days. Denarion, right? A day's wage. Denarion, Strong's G 1220.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
Right. In the New Testament, a Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, increased to 16. It was a principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wage. Right. A day's wage. Right. These are the times we're coming into, man. Right. So what is the scripture saying right here? I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat, right? Less than a quart, less than a liter of wheat, for a penny, for a day's wage. And 3 measures of barley, for a penny, a day's wage. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine is the truth, the understanding, right? The understanding of this truth. And who has the understanding of this truth? The elect men of the Lord. Let's read this in the Bibles, in the NLT. Revelation 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living, from the Salakia. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the olive oil and wine. Right? This place America the Great, Babylon the Great, is about to go through it, man. We're seeing the destabilization, right? And the more this, the more their leadership keeps pumping money into this skirmish that the world is blaming for the hardships, for the lack of bread, for the inflation, for the stock market dropping, for major companies like FedEx looking like they're gonna go under, for CEOs telling you gird up yourselves and get ready for higher natural gas prices this winter. Gird up yourselves and get ready to freeze, right? It's going to cause a lot of turmoil, right? It's going to cause these EU nations to get pissed, right? Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, the 10 horns is NATO and the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast, the 10 horns is the EU, Salakia, the beast is NATO. So NATO and the EU, these shall hate the whore. They're going to hate the whore. Who's the whore? America. And shall make her desolate, right? And how's that going to happen? The missiles. And naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? So these 10 horns and the beast, NATO and the EU, are going to end up firing missiles on America the Great, Babylon the Great. For the Most High, verse 17, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, right? So right now, the EU nations, the beast, NATO and the EU, the whore, they're in agreement and give their kingdom unto the beast, right? They're cool right now until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, right? And what is the will of the Lord? To burn her and make her desolate with fire. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city. The woman is America. The great city is America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, right? America has heapeth unto herself all nations, all kindreds, all tongues. Right? All these other nations, all these kings of the earth, these other nations, these rulers, they're in bed with the whore. They're lying down with her. Right? But she's at the beginning of her demise. Job 20. Job 20. Job 21. Salakia. Job 20. Points to 27. Job 20 verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. America, a position of difficulty, right? Right? At their apex. When they're let's look at this word sufficiency.
Strong's H 5607, first reading, Saphek. Saphek. Second reading, Saphak. Saphak.
Hand clapping, mocking, mockery, scorn, meaning dubious, stroke, sufficiency, chastisement, right? In the fullness of his chastisement, let's look at the root word, right? To cause to clap the hands in token of compact derision, grief, indignation, punishment, right? In the fullness of it, right now, right now, America the Great's getting it, man. And it's only going to get worse, right? She shall be in straits, a position of difficulty, right? Every hand of the wicked, and the Hebrew word for the wicked here is amal, Every hand of the wicked, which means laborer, shall come upon him. Right? Let's look at this word amah for edification's sake. For those that are new, amah.
Strong's H 6001. A male. A male.
A male. Laborer, workman, sufferer, wretched one. Right? The populace, the citizens of America, the great Babylon the Great, they're suffering, man. They're laborers, they're workers, right? Right? 2/3 of our people, right? The elect, right? The house of Israel, right? Israelites, Israel being a people before a place, right? Remember, America the Great, Babylon the Great is founded on blood, sweat, and tears. Of who? The Israelites. Verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, right? When he's about to hip the whole world, the Most High gonna fire missiles. The Most High gonna put the spirit on these beast nations, NATO and the EU, led by the charge of the bear, Gog and Magog, who is not a part of NATO and the EU. Don't get that confused. But the bear, Gog and Magog, is going to be instrumental in leading the charge, right? Put the spirit on them to fire missiles on America the Great while she's eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, the missiles, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. The missiles, man. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Terrors are upon who? America the Great, Babylon the Great. All darkness shall be hidden in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Right? You Edomites, you ruling class elites, that are going to be hiding in your bunkers. You're the first round of slaves in the kingdom of come. Right? You're going right into slavery. Because these elites going to be hiding in their bunkers and their space stations. Verse 27, here is the point. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity. Right? And who's exposing Esau, Edom for who they are and revealing their iniquity? Beginning with the elect. These videos, the highways, the hedges, speaking the scriptures, shaking the finger, pointing the hand. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Right? The earth shall rise up against him, man. Let's read that in the NLT. Right? Job 20 and 27 in the NLT. The heavens will reveal their guilt, and the earth will testify against them. Right? And you see these truthers, Edomite truthers, right? Whistleblowers, right? Calling them out. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Right? Not gonna left. You Edomites ain't your transition, your next role in life, your next role in life is hardcore slavery, man. All your goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. And who's gonna receive all your goods? The elect under Yahushai. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh. Stay prayed up, ceasing. Shalom to the hopeful elect.